and welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. Happy 18th of December, everybody. Where is December going? I feel like we're getting to that time where it's like, where's it gone? But anyway, it's here. Oh, we do have a lot of black in this one, but we do have a little bit of alternative colour out the sides, so I suppose that's something. Let me move that up, and I think I'm gonna, in fact, let me tip some more black into my tray. I like a lot of diamonds in the tray when I'm doing a bulk colour, and especially when I don't have to tip them back. Normally I try and judge how many I'm popping in, but because this tray is purely for black, then we can just tip them all in and I can move them about so that I can get them where I want them. So you can see this lighter section is actually the number one, so that is black. I'm using another pen that was gifted to me by a subscriber. I do think I'm going to run out of pens though. I do not have 24 different ones. But, you know, I've got close, so maybe next year we'll be on a different one for each and every day. Okay, so back to your comments, questions, all that sort of stuff. I try and make sure that, you know, any comments and questions are answered in the whip and chats. It saves me losing a few hours replying to them all. I do reply to a few, especially ones that aren't necessarily, you know, are on the back of another a question that I've answered occasionally, but I do try and cover what I can here. I tend to just reply to comments on other videos than Whipper chats and just copy all these questions over. So somebody did make a nice comment. They did say that they liked my idea of sectioning off and rotating through projects. And I think I discussed this yesterday. It's helping them move through projects that are a bit tougher and make some headway, and they get to get up and down more often. So yeah, I do enjoy doing that. I do enjoy kitting up a few projects, and while I may put the videos up, you know, each week, because I'm trying to vary what sort of content I've got up, I may kit a few paintings up all at once or over the course of a weekend, say, and then I work on those projects. Sometimes I do have a big project and then finish a small project and then do a bit of the big project and then finish a smaller project. But I am quite liking what I did the last time, which was I did a section of both the big and the small. Of course, the big may run on for a few more small paintings because, of course, I'm going to get the small ones finished sooner. I don't do a smaller section. Well, I do a smaller section, but I don't do a tiny section. I don't do it in ratio to the big project. But I think it's nice to have a few projects on the go if, you know, they're not intended for a particular purpose or need to be done for a particular time. Especially if you do get an image that you do like, or maybe you get some diamonds that are a little bit more cumbersome to work with than others. There's more found in squares. You can find with some squares. With one I've recently finished, the diamonds themselves weren't that nice, but the picture still turned out nice. So it was worth continuing because you do get the finished effect, but it wasn't as much of a joy to actually work on. So it was nice to have that mixed in with some projects that were a lot nicer to do. And of course I'll discuss any diamonds that are not as good in my, you know, completed or dekitting video. I tend to combine them where I can. A lot just depends on what I've got going on and what videos need to go up. So keep an eye out for those. I will always be truthful in regards to paintings and what my view of some places have been. It doesn't often mean that they're bad companies if the painting still turns out nice. Just sometimes the quality is not quite there as much. But I'm glad somebody else has enjoyed it. So somebody did ask, have you ever done a full crystal rhinestone diamond painting? Yes. So I have done one that was a full drill in crystal. It was actually one I picked up from Australia. There is a lady who lives near my mum in Australia, of course pre-COVID this was, that runs like diamond painting groups where people meet up and diamond paint. And what she also does is she ships in diamond paintings from a contact in China that she has, and she sells them for an extremely reasonable price. I don't really think, if anything, there is any profit there. If there is, it's only a very small amount, and that's fair enough because she gets the diamond paintings in, she checks the inventory on them all before she sells them. But I did pick up a full drill diamond painting of a tiger from her. Now for that, I find with the crystal drills, the light pad underneath does not work as well. It does for seeing the symbols, but you can actually struggle to see the crystal diamonds because of the underlight. So really you can't quite tell what it is until you turn that backlight off. And it's only then that the picture becomes a bit more apparent. And I'm not as keen on that. I do like to be able to see the paint, you know, even if I can't see necessarily the full image because I need to take that step back. I like to see the colours that I've done. And I couldn't see that with a crystal drill. Quite often now when I do crystal drill paintings, more often than not they are partials, because they're not my favourite type, but I do like the effect. So I tend to get them as partials for a bit of a change, gives that little bit of sparkle without it being too much. And I don't tend to put a light pad underneath at all. So I don't tend to use a light pad when I'm working with crystal drills. But yes, I have done one in the past. Oh, somebody's asked, what has your experience been with the magnetic charging cable that you purchased? My experience with that has been perfect. I mean, I did use that light pad with the magnetic charger in it for quite a while. And my daughter used it for a while. In fact, she might even still be using that one. But I did get off my husband a wireless light pad. They're a lot more expensive, but you charge it up and then you don't need any wires at all. So that tends to be what I use day to day when I'm diamond painting. But the time I was using the magnetic one, absolutely fantastic, because I was forever knocking it. And at least with that, the charger comes away and it doesn't ruin your charger port. In fact, I could do with one for my phone, but that's not because I knock my phone and knock the charging port all the time. That's just pure laziness. I don't have to plug it in if I can just let it attach itself on the magnet. But yeah, the magnetic charging cable I think is a must. My first light pad did last quite a while. It lasted well over a year before I did end up ruining the charger port. But I know that there was one, I'm not sure if it was that one, I think it was a different replacement light pad I got. One of my daughters tripped over the wire and it pulled the whole charging port out of the light pad. So for the sake of security and for the sake of, you know, not losing your ability to use a light pad at any time of day, normally when it's the most inconvenient, then yes, I do recommend the magnetic charging cables for light pads. It's just so much safer. If somebody trips on it or if you knock it, it doesn't ruin your light pad, because those ports are not very thick at all and they're just soldered on, and a knock can just send them flying and break it. Are the circle diamonds easier? Yes, they are. So I can diamond paint a lot quicker when I'm doing it with round diamonds, and it is probably my recommendation for somebody who's just starting out diamond painting. I mean, you know, some people are more adventurous anyway, and some people are more cautious. And if you're more adventurous and you really want to start with squares, then nothing's stopping you. But I do recommend to do at least one round for new diamond painters, because you don't have to position them any particular way. They just, that's your symbol, that's your diamond, there it goes. Whereas with square, you either need to ensure that you're picking them up and putting them down as straight. So you've got your tray that you pick it up and you keep the same position when you put it down. Or you need to make sure that, you know, you get in the habit of moving your pen to make sure that it lines up right. Whereas with circles, there's none of that. You just put them down. Put them down like a bit like trying to get bullseye, and as long as you're pretty close, you're good. Quite often, dependent on the seller, but quite a lot of the diamond paintings that are available are round. Quite a few of the ones that are available for a cheaper price do tend to be poured glue. And poured glue is a lot more forgiving if you need to move a diamond. It will let you slide them a lot easier than the double-sided tape. So that in itself can help a new diamond painter when they place their diamond down. If they want it in a different area, they can just give it a nudge. A bit like what I've been doing with these two rows is I've been nudging them just to try and make sure that I don't have that, you know, that line to see, because I am doing this in sections. I can nudge the diamonds about even though these were placed days ago. I can't remember which day, but it was days ago. It definitely wasn't today, that's for sure. Somebody said, have you ever thought about getting a handheld scanner? I've not. And it was only after the video went up where I discussed the fact that I don't print this because I don't have a scanner, that I realised I also have an app on my phone that will take a picture of something and turn it into a scan, which could potentially use less ink and, you know, be lower resolution and easier for a printer to just print out. So I think that might be something I might give a go on one of my future paintings that I kit up that doesn't have a key, and see how well it works and how much messing about I need to do to ensure, you know, that the key is small enough. So like the same size that actually comes on the painting, so that I can run it through my Xyron sticker maker and use it to make labels. I mean, I could print them out on a sticker sheet, but I like using a little Xyron sticker maker. It just works perfect for the job. So thank you everybody who suggested the likes of a handheld scanner. I think I'm going to try it with my phone firstly, because people did mention about taking a picture and printing that out. But of course you could end up with a lot of wasted space with that, you know, of the desk and the side of the diamond painting and all the rest of it that you print out. But with a scanner, I feel like, or a scanner on my phone, I feel like I might be able to get a good enough image of a key. I just need to check how I would then send that to the printer to ensure that I don't end up with it huge. But that is something that I will mess about with, because sometimes the symbols are just not that easy to transfer to a label. I mean, these aren't bad, these are letters and numbers, so there's no real, you know, messing about with that. Even if you draw the letter A different, you know how you write the letter A, and you know that it's the letter A because it's what we have used since we were 4 or 5, albeit our writing might have got a bit neater. We've always known what we mean by that letter A, or, you know, I do the number 7 and then I put a line through the middle of it. Don't know where that came from. I've just always done it. And even though this chart has just the basic number 7, I know that the 7 with a line through the middle is the way I write a number 7. So there's no guessing involved when it comes to transferring it to the painting. Same as the number 1. When I have written the number 1 on my label, I have written the number 1, but then I have put a line across the bottom, because that's the way I write the number 1. So I think I might give it a go with a painting that has, you know, maybe more complicated symbols to save me trying to draw them, basically. Oh, sorry, it's brew time. Okay, now this one is slightly a repeat of, I think, one that I discussed yesterday, but they have asked another little caveat alongside it. So they've asked, what is your favourite style subject matter to diamond paint if you had to choose one? And what would be your last choice, or something you wouldn't choose at all? So I did discuss my sort of favourite yesterday. I do find that I am quite drawn and enjoy doing diamond paintings with a lot of colour. When I've not got a particular home for it, so if I know where something is going to go, there is always a bit more of an enjoyment for that. But to actually enjoy diamond painting just for the fun of it, I like ones with colour. I like placing the bright coloured diamonds on the canvas. So that's my favourite, though I do also like the whole natural look at the moment as well, succulents and trees. I just love the way that those diamond paintings look finished. It's not so much working with the browns and the muted tones, it's the finished look of those that I do really like. What would be your last choice? Now, I didn't answer this yesterday, and sorry Suzanne, I know you have cats, but mine would probably be cat paintings. I have nothing against people who have cats. I'm allergic to cats, highly allergic to cats. So, well, I say highly allergic, no, there are definitely more severe cases than me, but I do not have to be, I can be in a room with a cat for a very, very short period of time and I will be sneezing and eyes watering and that sort of reaction to cats. Whereas I know there are people that it can be a lot more serious than that. And that's probably the reason that I'm not too fond of them. and therefore I don't really have the inkling to do a painting of them. So yeah, I am sorry, Suzanne. I know Suzanne likes cats. It is nothing against you or your cats. They're just, yeah, I don't have cats in my home. That's never been an option, I'm afraid. Okay, have you ever tried a multi-placer? Is a question from somebody. I know I may have covered this in a previous video as well, but I have tried one. I tried a 3-placer. I don't think I gave it enough time to master. I do think you have to be willing to give it some time to master the art of using a multi-placer. But at the same point, it also doesn't particularly interest me. I have watched people excuse me, I'm just throwing my tray about. I have watched people diamond paint who do use multi-placers, and I do find that, you know, I can see them nudging diamonds a little bit more. So while I may nudge a diamond when I'm working on it to you know, and one's near it to go in the right place, I can see people placing 3 and then nudging all 3 of them. And I would be extremely fussy on how they lined up, and if they didn't line up nice enough for me, I think I would get annoyed. I also feel that you'd have to put more diamonds in your tray. So I have only tipped a few diamonds in this tray because I only have a few of this symbol to do. But I feel that to get them lined up enough to use a multi-placer, you'd have to tip more into your tray. And I feel like I'm cheating a little bit. I like the fact that I have placed each and every single diamond for a painting. I enjoy that. And it's the process of doing that I enjoy. So I have given it a go. I wouldn't say I've given it enough of a go to master it, but I don't think it's for me. I think I just enjoy single placing diamonds, which is why quite often you will find if I have one of my diamond painting pens with a double-ended tip, I will actually have a straightener on the other end. In fact, I have one here. So I tend to go for the straightener on the other side because I actually find that I can use that more, you know, the likes of this when I just want to nudge a few diamonds over. Or down here if I'm thinking I can see a gap where I've had, you know, a couple of different days, I will find that I will just use this and I can nudge a few about, and that's more useful to me. So that's why I don't use them. Okay, somebody else with a question. Does the mystery painting have a key to tell you where to put the colours? Yes. So it does come with a key for the 1 to 13 colours, and those symbols actually have colours underneath them, and the numbers were on the bags for me to be able to label them up. So I'm purely going by, you know, the colours that it tells me that I'm placing. The same with the mystery painting that I'm doing from Fancells. While it doesn't have the colours in those, they're just as plain as they are on the canvas. It does tell you which number and which colour is which symbol. And then it's just like any other diamond painting. apart from the fact that you just don't have the colours in the background. So you can see the white behind. So when I've mentioned doing my Heaven and Earth designs and whether you could do a Heaven and Earth designs with round diamonds, yes, you could. You could do it with round diamonds rather than square, but you would get this look where you can see the white behind, albeit only a little bit. So it doesn't ruin the painting, I wouldn't say, but it does give it a different look than if behind each one was actually the colour, would match the colour of the diamond that you were placing. I'm doing a lot of just dipping into pots at the moment because I do only have a few of each of these colours. And in this case of the F symbol, I only have one. Oh, and I've actually got a lid that doesn't want to, there we go. It didn't want to clip, so I just push the little prong back a little bit. Okay, number 5, we only have 4, so I will see if my wax will allow me to pick up diamonds for this. Now I'm going to use my canvas as like to get hold of 2 diamonds then. But the 3, I have a few more, so I will go back to using my tray. Okay, let's see if we can get one more question in. Oh, so somebody has asked, what is the size of each of the squares that I'm doing on this? So let me place these few and I will grab a ruler and we will measure the squares. But I do have a preparation video for this. So it was up about a week and a half before the beginning of December. Enough time to give people time to do theirs if they wanted to follow me and they'd follow what I was doing, and maybe they'd only just seen the video. So when I actually divided this up, I wanted to make sure that I had 24 squares because of the days that I was doing it. So it was a matter of dividing it up into 4 on the short side and 6 on the long side. But I will measure the squares because while I didn't measure each individual square when I did it, just checking I've got no rogue diamonds because I heard something, but I can't see it, so we'll move on. Yeah, while I did measure the sides to ensure that they were all the same, I didn't measure each individual square. See, and I've just noticed you can see just a faint, very, very faint little line where I have done a couple of days and met them up with each other. So I am just going to try and give them a little nudge with my straightener, there we go, and sort of hide the lines just a little bit because they are white. They are standing out a little bit better. And I'm not sure now if I can see them because I know they're there or whether they're actually there. But that's why I like the straightener on the other end. Okay, what size is this? So these are just over 6 centimetres. Is it square? By 6 centimetres. So it's a couple of millimetres over 6 centimetres by 6 centimetres itself, or 2 7/8 of an inch for the Americans, and 2 3/4 of an inch on one side. So roughly that size, very nearly a square, which is not bad at all. But that is day 18. Done and dusted. We dip over here for day 19, so do join me for that, and don't forget, an hour after this video has gone up, we do still have a Fancels unboxing. So if you're missing some of my other style of videos, keep an eye out for that, or double check, it may well have already been posted depending on when you're listening. And yeah, you can have a look at what other goodies could be coming up in the future. But thank you so much to everybody for watching, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow.